Hello, everyone. You're welcome back to the Unraveled Closet. This is the podcast where we strip away silence, shame, culture, expectations, so women can reclaim their voice, their softness, and their power. I am Lucy.
The Unraveled Closet Podcast with Lucy.
Today's conversation is bold, raw, and long overdue, especially for African women living abroad. Because we're talking about something many of us grew up seeing and surviving. It is tagged the African man mentality, and how that mentality hits differently when families relocate overseas. How some women, once quiet, once controlled, once conditioned to shrink, suddenly discover empowerment, independence, and identity abroad. While many men, a lot of men, still hold on to the outdated cultural dominance. And then the tension between both worlds becomes a silent battlefield. This episode is for women who have dimmed their light to keep their home, for the women who relocated and finally realized I am more than what I was raised to tolerate. And today, we are joined by a woman who understands this journey deeply. Our guest is a powerhouse. She has lived this not once, but twice. 2 marriages to 2 African men. 2 experiences of slowly losing herself, her confidence, her identity just to keep the peace. But guess what? She didn't stay broken. Today, she's rebuilt. She rose. She now runs her own business, manages her life independently, and is creating impact both in the UK and in Nigeria in many ways that you can never imagine. Please join me to welcome Bianca. Welcome to the show, darling.
Hello, Lucy. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So lovely to have you, Bianca, and it's such an honor. Hey guys, in case you don't know, it took me a long time to get back on this show. We for some reason I felt like the odds were just against us to meet.
Yeah.
But I'm super, super happy to have her here in the studio because she's one of the women who is rewriting the story of the African women. Welcome again. So guys, without further ado, I'm just going to dive into the questions, Bianca.
Okay.
We know you have been through a lot. We know you got so many stories to tell. So let's start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about the African man mentality, what comes to your mind?
Rigidity.
Mm.
And permit me to say, African men are strong. That rigidity can be positive as well, but the control element of it is what haunts me. So I think about the rigidity, I think about control, and I think about know-it-alls. At least from my own experience. That's what I can define the African mentality, and that's just what I can define it as.
Yeah, rigidity. I kind of like the way you put it. It could also be positive, but if not managed properly,
yes,
could be a big problem, especially in the home. Yes. Not being able to adapt or change your style.
African men, instead of having structure in the home, they prefer to be rigid. So rigidity is different from structure.
How? Please give us just a little bit into that. How is that different from structure?
Okay, I'll call rigidity the Von Trapp effect. You know Von Trapp from sound.
Yes.
Not going one way, whether it's working, whether it's not working, not putting heads together, the know-it-all, just being stoic. But structure is coming together to say, okay, this is the plan. Will this actually work? It's a structure that is leading to growth.
Partnership.
partnership, putting heads
Mm,
together, discussing.
mm.
You understand your
Wow. Yes,
partner with
yes.
you or whoever you are with is your life partner. So it shouldn't be a competition.
Mm. Partnership.
Yeah.
And when growing up, yeah, what examples did you see, say, of male dominance or control that felt like normal? You know, there are things as Africans we have deemed normal
Yes.
growing up for men. So what are these things that you thought were normal?
That docile submissiveness of not asking questions, not having your opinion, or even speaking up for yourself can be seen as rebellious. Refusing to take things you are not comfortable with can be seen as na yeye woman that one be. You understand?
Yes, I get it. You know, this thing you were saying, for a long time, I used to tell myself that I was different because my mentality, right, in Nigeria, I was very different. First of all, not because of the way I would like to do my hair stuff, but because of the way I thought about how African women or homes raise their men.
Yeah.
You know, they raise. You know, there's this system of men chill in the lounge while the girls cook. There's that system of men. This is who a man is supposed to be in the home. A man is respected. Even in some homes where they give birth to a girl first and then a boy. You
Yeah.
can see that transition. That boy is elevated, even more respected than, the woman who was born first. And this is not to spite anybody or anybody's way of raising their kids, but I feel like this is a norm for me. This was my problem.
It's just
Why
the norm.
why are men preserved or portrayed in a certain way very different from the way women are raised in the home? Why is the man chilling in the couch while I'm in the kitchen helping my mom? Who do that thing? Who like
I
who
think ideally this stems up from way back culture when the men used to go to the farm or are hunters and the women stay at home, raise the kid, cook. But one thing that the African society does not want to realize is that times have evolved.
mm.
Most people are still stuck in the old ways. They are no longer going to hunt. They are no longer planting
No God no.
nothing, but they still expect the woman that is now hunting and farming to still come home and still be docile. So men they are refusing to adapt to the change.
And I think that because of that mentality that men have in Africa is the biggest reason why they come here and struggle.
Yeah.
Like you said, nobody is pushing them now to go to the farm to hunt. Some women are still working, even more than the men. So this whole idea for me is when the women begin to change, and then the men are stuck like they are glued to a certain system, and that's the problem for me.
Yeah.
You know,
They
and yeah,
refuse to change and adapt. They are not behaving like they are not giving unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. They are in Rome, but they are not behaving like the Romans. So it's like there's a tussle.
yeah. For me, right, when I was dating, when I came into the UK with my what's it called ex, that was something he told me. He said, I had to talk and say, who go marry you? You will no fee, calm down for my, all this kind of
Yeah,
talk. And I'm like, I want to come for man again. I have big dreams. I still have big dreams. Sometimes my dream, man, if I share it, sometimes I'll be like, calm down now. This dream you go fit. But the truth is, African men are scared of women dreaming or women having a life for themselves. And remember, once they come here, women work more work. You know how many people have told me, let me give you an example that I
my
bring my husband, me and my husband come here. My husband has refused to work in care. Why? Because he feels the job is belittling. But guess what? There's no other means to an end. That is the only means. So what happens? The woman begins to do this heavy job until takes care of the kids. And they sit at home, they can't cook for their children. You are stuck in the home.
They're coming home to scattered house. Like this was something I went through. Like even pushing the stroller, you will see. I'm very tiny. You will see me struggling with my twin buggy that time. But because I'm a woman, it's my job. no help,
Yeah.
nothing like it's a woman's job. But you see the other men here. Here, na man they carry load when you are going. Like you see the man pushing the stroller, but you there you are struggling with your own because you are a woman. So all those things messed with our head and my head when I first came.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, African women, this is for you. You know, when you come here, you're taught to adapt early, to bend, to adjust, to tolerate, to endure. That condition, it becomes an identity for you, which is a growth. Now, this is for you, Africa. I don't want you to see it as a problem that you came here, you evolved. Because let me tell you, Bianca, the title now, or the tag they give to women is they come here, they don't wear their eye open. Their eye don't open. Or women, your eyes are now more open, you're more exposed. But no, this is empowerment for you.
Exactly.
This is you realizing that you can be much more than just domesticated. You can do a lot. You can become a business owner. You can raise your kids. You can do a whole lot. And don't feel like, because for me, I had this guilt. I had so much guilt when I started experiencing better. And this is why I want to tell you that this imbalance is unfair. It's a heavy load. And if you're in this system, this is for you. You now begin to ask yourself some important questions. Are you taking too much on? That's where it starts. Okay?
That's one thing I realized. You know, when they say don't carry your woman abroad, though her eye go open, don't they realize that that depicts abuse. It's just like saying, keep them suppressed, let them not see the light.
Yeah.
If you have a bed, let's say a pet bed, and you release it, will it not fly?
Yes.
Because it's nature.
Freedom. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
Thank you, Bianca. You know, men, seriously, I feel like African men, you guys have a lot to do in the UK. This brings me to my next question, my darling B. Yeah. What changed for you when you moved abroad? From your first marriage, what changed for you?
From when I moved to the UK? Yes. The fact that I can actually work and see the results, see my hard work. That's just what it was. So I was like, if I can do this as a woman and you claim to be the head, why can't you do the same? Why can't we meet and make it work? So that was what changed for me. If you don't want to do it with me, then I can do it by myself, even though I will struggle. It's easier for me to do it by myself than to be suppressed and clinging on.
So did you notice yourself evolving faster than your partners? Like, did you see yourself evolving more? Like what you said, did you see yourself, like if you put your hands into something, did you see yourself, evolving, so getting more successes than your partners?
At first, it didn't happen like that. I found I was evolving, but it was tagged depression. So I was put on antidepressants to suppress those feelings and so I was docile. But there's only so much that can last for it. And I decided to start living my life, like doing the things I would like to do. But we don't have this. Okay, we can do this job to get this. We can make it work. And I found myself, the more I started accepting that, the more they started saying, abroad, don't change them. Even the discussion that me and you are having now.
Yeah.
If it was on Instablog Nigeria or one of those blogs now, to know the African man mentality, just read the comments of the African men. Yeah. If they posted this podcast.
Yeah. You see, this is what I say a lot of people. When I was looking for a partner, in short, my last relationship, I felt like COVID pushed me into a relationship. And it's not bad to fall in love or bad to do. But one thing I realized is, now me, they bring idea. You know if you bring idea.
That's the thing. That's the first time I can actually relax without my head calculating and planning. My previous relationships, I'm just like the everything. You know? Do you understand?
I understand how you feel, because I felt the same as well. I was like, okay, I brought the idea of coming to the UK, right? I brought the idea. He's tried other countries, it didn't work. So I brought the idea to come to the UK. And oh, wow, we worked. We came together. And when we were here, I was like, okay, what's your goal? What's your plan? Because for me, my idea was, okay, do a master's in what we were doing in Nigeria and start up a business in Nigeria and control the movie world. You know, I was in makeup, he was in film. So for me, it was, okay, get control of this system. Once you go abroad, do masters and you start a business, people begin to listen to you. Because we all did it in film. We did our masters in film. Before I go, no, I did don't too much. They don't say you're not a submissive. Why? Because you are beginning to ask important questions. And your conscience, there's something African people do. African families, this is for you. If a woman is evolving and a man feels like he's shrinking, it's not the woman's fault.
It's not.
It is not the woman's fault. If a man feels challenged that your wife or your partner is doing more, then there's a problem. It starts with what you said, partnership. If marriage is partnership to these people, then it shouldn't be a problem. Why your work or your success go be a threat to other people? Why can't a man sit up and say, okay, you know what? If your business is thriving, what can we do? Let's use your business to do this family. Why can't the business be for the family? Why men like me women they kitchen charapa hold two babies?
Everything suffer head. She can cook 6 grains of beans and it will feed 16 people. They just like
Bianca, your analogy is mad.
honestly.
Seriously, I swear, I realized that my independence was a big problem for a lot of people, especially people I met. I was like, if you're not dreaming, please go and sit down. I'm not here to come and be counting bridge. We're not come UK call count bridge.
No.
It's not easy to do a master's degree and pay for your course. It's not even easy to go to work and come down. Sometimes when I'm working, people are like, you work too much. I'm like, dude, if I not do, I will go do them. I got a business to run. I got a dream. That I work does not mean I cannot do a business because I've got a dream. So sometimes people feel threatened by the fact that you are a woman, you come back, they are tired, you are not tired, you're pursuing your goal, and it becomes a problem. And I hate it when family members are supporting the man. It's rubbish for me.
That's why at this point in my life, the most important thing is myself, my children. Every other thing comes second.
I agree.
Give 2 ducks what anyone thinks at this stage, what one family thinks. At the end of the day, nobody's living the world alive. Let's progress. Let's be happy. Let's leave this tussle of the woman say the man did not say. What is all that?
You know what, Seriously. There's this thing I said. I said you cannot tip water from half when the cup is half full. The water can only get to the brim of the cup for you to be able to tip or even spill over. This is why I tell African women, not until you begin to ask yourself, how do I choose me? This is something I had to learn, and that's why I realized that vulnerability it transformed me. If you know me before, you're supposed to say I don't change.
Yes.
Like I was trapped in that African mentality, it almost killed me. Until I started to ask myself, these same things where you talk, these same things, how do I deliberately choose myself? And it takes selfishness. And I don't lie you, it takes 10% of selfishness to choose yourself. And this is what I feel like all African women. Say you tire, you come back from work. Say if I come back from work and I'm like, okay, I don't want to go to the kitchen. You shouldn't feel guilty.
The thing is, one thing I've noticed, Lucy, yes, the African man mentality is there, but have you noticed that most of our own Nigerian African women, like they propagate this mentality too? I remember one time I was walking here. I have 3 children, you know the hard work, everything. Drop this one in school, drop that one in school. Then by the time I get to work, I'll buy lunch from the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And some Nigerian women, they were like turning up their nose at me. So you can't cook and put in the freezer and becoming like that, like making you feel like which kind of woman be this? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. That's what I'm telling you, right? That this whole idea is it takes one it takes one person to start a village, yeah, then everybody will join. It's a canker worm that's eating into us. You see that guilt, like you said, if not managed where you're tasting a depression, you're tasting that you be problem.
Yeah.
But I realized that thing will fail, right? See the point too. Those people are jealous because they cannot experience what you're experiencing. Then too, if they get opportunity to buy that food, give their children, they go do them. But because of what we people say, they are still stuck.
Exactly.
So when you liberate yourself and they see how much you are transformed, your life is changed and you're transforming, guess what? They'll begin to ask you questions. I'll give you an example, Bianca. When I shared my story, it took me 5 years to share it. I wish I shared it earlier. Truthfully, maybe God would have used my story for me to help a lot of women. As soon as I shared my story, I know how many people shared theirs. I'm not joking. I know how many people told me, Lucy, not only you see what me I suffer, see what me I suffer. If I had knew that God gave me that story to be able to transform other people's life, or not transform, I'm not God, but so that people can relate to your story. You see that way they do it. I used to think it's a problem. Now, you know what me and my partner does sometimes? We have pizza nights. Sometimes when the kids are, he likes to cook. He loves the kitchen, and I don't want to take it from him. Sometimes I step in, I'm like, baby, you got to sit. But it's what he loves. So when you come to my home, for example, I've changed, transformed so much. Some days we have pizza nights. It's normal. Some nights we take the kids out to chicken and blues. It's normal. Before, man, oh, like, I'd rather we save that money.
Yes. Yes.
But now I've realized that, dude, in choosing you, coming back from work, you guys are knackered. Dude, if you can buy pizza.
It's not by how many wraps of moi you can make and keep in the fridge that makes you the most hardworking wife.
Nah, it's not by power nor by might.
It's not. Why are we saying, hey, when we're growing up, they'll say, be a doctor, be an engineer. Then, is it not because they want us to be comfortable and have access to
Yes.
So everything is about convenience now.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So now let's dive deep down into your story a bit more, love. So take us into your first marriage. What were the red flags you ignored? Please educate us.
The first red flag is that I was just about to turn 18 when I met the first person I married in. I just gained admission into the university. I was very insecure, I think. And I don't know. I still can't explain it, but I think that my first marriage, my first relationship, him, changed the course and the trajectory of my life in positive ways. And I used to think it was in negative ways, but I've come to realize that it's more in positive ways. It taught me. It was a very violent relationship.
Yeah. Wow.
And I blamed myself. Like, I felt like the problem. I blamed, even up till now, I still feel like, Bianca, but when I think back, there were certain things. We were both young. We both we're just young and stupid, is all I can say.
I understand. There's a certain age where you get to and you're like, I think I'm old enough. There's something I always tell people. Say, see, there was a reason you had to go through the first marriage, whether you like it or not. I don't believe in coincidences in my life. I believe that God destined us for different things in life. Say you marry 3, another person marry 1. Don't make any less of anything. It might also be that you had to have that experience or this experience for where you're going. I'm sure that there's a time in your life when you sit back and say, you know what? Okay, imagine your first marriage was at 30 and your second one was at 45. Do you get what I mean? So there's always a reason for all these things. And I feel like you made an important point for us as African women. Young age. Before you enter into a marriage, you want to ask yourself some questions. There's something my sister-in-law used to say. She said when she wanted to get married to my brother, they asked her a question. If you see him on a dead bed or a sick bed, do you still love him? You have to begin to picture those things. You have to picture the worst. And if you're at 18, you're excited. Not to say some people get married at 18 and their marriage is successful. Yeah, kudos to them. But for some of us who are very, fickle-minded at 18, we want to ask ourselves some important questions.
Yeah.
Am I here because I'm fascinated about the guy's beauty? For me, I know, like, dreadlock now the part of the reason why I fall Yakata for grand. Dada. But it's the spirit, right? So, but the truth about vulnerability, you begin to see, you ask yourself honest questions and you begin to see that maybe not be their fault. Now, saying well. And that's okay. That's really, 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 what's it called? Educational for women who are young and navigating that same system. Men want to get married to them. How do they ask themselves this question? So you can start from there, guys. if this person dey sick bed, how you go to see them? Would you still love them? Would you, or are you just there for the looks? Another question, my darling. What did losing your self-confidence look like day to day? If you were to analyze your day to day, what did losing yourself and your self-confidence look like?
Just, this was what it was for me. When I wake up in the morning, I used to wish I woke up dead. Like, I'll be like, oh my God, I made it in. It was that bad.
Wow.
It was just like I was remote controlled through the day. In Nigeria, you're able to cover it up. You have you have support system. You were there, Kehinde was there, everything. And then, okay, I told you we met when I was going on 18, and then we got married when I was 24. The marriage lasted 1 year, I think. So when I filed for divorce and everything, I met my children's father, and the marriage ended not because we hate each other, but it was that African mentality judgment of me being a single mom from a previous marriage. His family just did not like that. We tried, and it caused a lot of pressure within the marriage, depression on both sides. And sometimes you get forced, sometimes you care about someone so much that you just let them go so that they can find themselves and remember the happiness that they had before. That's the kindest thing you can do to someone you once loved.
So amazing, so inspirational. The truth is, like I said, I go see talk until tomorrow. Sometimes when you sit back and ask yourself some real deep questions, I don't mean all this one where they try to blame other people. And I can tell that you've gone through that deliberate asking yourself, some questions like, where did I not see the gap, or what did I do wrongly? And you can see the way you're answering. Basically, it's not an error. Getting married twice or something is not a problem. It's that, what do I pick out of this? And that's what you've clearly stated, and realized that it just didn't work. It's just how life is, And I just want to share this to you, BA. Don't think you did anything wrong. Like I said, God has a motive. God has something bigger for you. And you can see your life is transforming. So always look at the good side. Easy to talk, advisor, hard. Motivational speech, hard. It's not hard to motivate people. It's actually to work it out. So, but this is just to encourage you that you didn't do anything wrong and it will be fine. So, did you hope that culture would change? When you enter marriage, there's this mindset it would change. Did you have those mindsets in your marriages?
For when I was with my first husband, I just knew that thing was an endemic thing. The violence was too much. It's not even about culture. That one was violence. But this second one, I kept hoping that beliefs and culture would change. We're married for 7 years, right?
Wow.
So I kept hoping, but there are some things that are just inbuilt.
Yeah, there are things that don't change. For example, my own ego change. My own will be say ego change. My own will call God past me. For me, it was very prayerful, right? He called God past me. For me, it wasn't ego change. It was, I be at a craze. For me, is he going to jail now? Am I mad?
Questioning yourself.
I'm like, am I mad? Because I kept asking for closure, I kept asking for closure, disappearing. I was like, get with it and note me. So every time I talk to my family, and so they'll be like, sometimes now the way you say they talk, I'm like, I did they talk again. The girls did they talk to man. Is there a way to talk to a man? Do I have to unlearn something? So I started, I lost myself because I'm I don't know if you remember who I was, open-minded. I was outspoken. I was never a silent person. Never have I been. But I had to learn being quiet. I had to learn to hide. So for me, it wasn't cultural shift. It was more about me asking some weird questions that I've never asked myself for all my life, And it's really hard. And I know how it must be for you as well, twice. It's not easy, guys. No, it's not easy at all. Sometimes, go ahead.
I said it's not easy at all, but you just have to pick yourself up.
Yeah, you have to. And this is for you African men. Women don't leave because we are weak. No. We never leave because we're weak. Women leave because they finally recognize their worth. When I go say sometimes women leave you guys to other men. But have you thought for once, waiting attract that person for the other person? For example, if I had struggled all my life with, doubting myself, depression, asking myself some very weird questions, and then somebody comes to me and give me a shoulder or gives me a reason why I should keep chasing my dreams. Give me a reason why that business is the best thing I ever, the best choice I ever make. Show me that I'm worth a whole lot. What you didn't show me in the house. If now if it were you, will you stay as African men? Let's not talk about the cheating part of your lives, but let's talk. Sorry, God forgive me. But let's not talk about the cheating and all those things you guys do under the shadow. But if it was you guys, would you stay in a place that is unhealthy? Let me tell you one thing about you men. Men eat by looking. Women eat by hearing. Have you ever heard that? So guess what? Because we hear, it's stuck in our brain. You guys, my eyes on our own, they come out. If you go drink beer now, it don't come out.
One that killed me a few months ago, me and my partner, we went to Amsterdam for vacation and we met a Nigerian man in the hotel. So we got talking and he was trying to let us know that he's a good husband. He cheats on his wife, but he does not love the person he cheats with. So that means he puts his wife first. Like he was trying to make it a good thing.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Like the entitlement.
I mean, I feel like I did a podcast with one of my friends, Lawrence, Professor Lawrence, and I'm gonna share it next year. It's about raising men, how boys are raised. There's another sequel to this, but seriously, it's really really shocking the way some men are raised. Boys are raised like some parents know that their sons are cheating, they just ignore it. They ignore it, but when the woman cannot cook for you when you come to visit for a mugwo, it's a problem. When
and the woman that is just accepted,
exactly.
I thought it was now I now took it as a normal thing.
Who makes this normal? Sometimes I won't lie to you. When my partner listens to some of my podcasts, the old ones I used to do, be like, am I listening or am I dumb or am I not listening to you guys well? What is these things you guys are talking about? There was one I did. It's called "What Do Men Want from Women?" He listened to it. I was like, are women commodities? It's like it's a bag you're going to pick up from a shop or something, And I'm like, but it's a norm. It's the family. See, let me tell you one thing I have a problem with. I don't mind these men doing things. It's the family where he's from that irritates me the more. I am a woman and I've got brothers who are married. And I'll not lie you, my brother knows say I no get him back if he cast.
Yeah.
They know that I don't got their back if they cast. I'm just being honest. I'm sure both of them know. I will cast them and drink wine because it's just who I am. But when I see families deliberately break the other side because they want to support their family, it hurts.
It's wickedness.
Serious wickedness. And there's nothing wrong in you standing up and saying, son, you are doing a wrong thing. We're going to support this woman. Son, this is not right. This is not how we raised you. We're going to support this woman. Oh, now man, he be choose. There's one that is going around. He goes around in Insta blog and now so men be choose your demon. You see me? I don't want demon. I know first just say I want marry demon. I beg now go. I want scent. So everybody, it's just annoying. Sometimes, go on.
Sometimes it makes me wonder. Okay, what's the point? Why are people getting married when it's just like the way they are doing competition and fighting? It's just like marry your enemy. What's not the point?
Exactly. What's love?
If you don't want to create that partnership, this is supposed to be somebody that you're sharing your life with forever.
But seriously, let's talk. Just something you said. Partnership. You see why partnership is as important as anything in the world. Partnership will make you see that this is my partner. This is my husband's flaw. This is my flaw. This is my husband's strength. This is my strength. So flaw go cancel flaw. Strength go block the other place where flaw supposed to be. It's called partnership, not because of money sharing. It is not because of money sharing.
That's like sometimes I still have that anxiety when me and my partner go out and we come back. For instance, I've put bag. I want to start slicing onions. You just go and sit down. Like I'll be like, no, let me. He'll say, sit down. Yeah. I will cook.
Yeah.
As he's cooking, right? I will stand up. I want to be cleaning. He'll
Yeah.
say, "Madam, rest." But you
I'm
know,
telling you.
if it was the other way around, like that pressure is on us. Oh yeah, you must cut the onions. You must suffer. You are not putting yourself first. I'm
Mm.
afraid to go back to that kind of life.
My darling, I know lie you. I used to say if they give me gold, if they say my husband, this my husband, I get all the floor with it, so I go say that floor. You see that floor? I will hang it on the tree and I'll begin to use prayer fight the floor. But I will stay there. You know, I will stay there because there's something about safety. You feel safe.
I
You don't
feel
feel like you are in a competition or you are currently trying to please. That pleasing is the one that did my brain. Trying to please somebody. You like when you're coming to the house, man, no go talk this one now, make it no go.
exactly.
What if I don't cook this thing
There's,
now? He will
there's
say,
one thing I there's one thing I struggle with now that like in my previous relationship I'm used to being told like it must be this that rigidity I spoke about it must so I just like even though you're the one work doing all the hard work they are telling you how to work hard but with my partner in the maybe we're doing something in the morning he will ask me so what are we doing today like what do we need to do today
mm,
I don't know. I'm like, I've never
ask
had
your
opinion.
opinion. Yes.
I'm not saying, this man thinks I have sense. Now I know I have sense. He has made me know that I have. Before I used to doubt.
You see,
You understand?
that's the next question I wanted to ask you. How you rebuilt your confidence.
Yes,
You see those little things that we ignore. All those little questions, say for example, men, African men, women, your husband does not ask you, hey babe, what's our plan for the month? Not be business plan at the talk, leave those ones. Your husband does not sit you down and ask you deliberate questions. What's your input in this? Before you come ask, your husband has made a very important decision without you knowing. That's the biggest height that you're not in a partnership. And if you raise this and the man still thinks you're too much, dude, I don't know what you're doing there. Lady, back, keke, run. Because the truth is, any man that wants partnership and feels safe with you will bring things to your table, right? I'm in a blended marriage, but my people, we talk about everything, and that has built my self confidence. When I started healing and stuff, this was one thing that changed my mindset. The fact that I matter and my opinion matters.
exactly. Like sometimes in my mind I'll be questioning like why do you want my opinion? But now I'm realizing that I'm somebody too. I'm a human being. I
Mm,
matter.
yes.
So like I'm still learning. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I question myself, but I'm getting used to it now. And I
My
love
life is continuous learning. I'm still learning. I don't know anything. Like my marriage now, we leave it so open that we ask ourselves everything. If my husband knows when I'm not happy, even in the slightest, I don't need to make a word out of my mouth.
yeah.
Babe, are you okay? And it's like spill. And I just go da 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 da. And then when I drop, he say, can we hug? Everything has gone out in the window. Why? Because I realize it's partnership. That anger in my heart will not do anything. Then you carry on. Before you know, devil will start planting seeds with that anger. So when you have an open a partnership where you talk, you guys can, make decisions better. Create it. If I have things with unravel clause, I'm confused, babe. Also, what do you think? It is always, I don't know about African men and their wife. Why did they leave? Because now that I'm here, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't lie to you. Next question, my darling. So entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Tell us about what you do now.
What I do now is what I've always done. If you can remember back in school, my writing, I like to write. So I like to research and also I've just made it into a company now, at least using what I love to make money. So
Lovely.
yes, it's a travel company and an advice company. I studied law here. So it's like a legal consultancy with regards to immigration and travel.
Lovely. Amazing. What's the name of your company? Please tell us.
Digital.
Digital.
Yes.
Lovely. So, guys, if you have any questions about, immigration laws, you don't know anything about the laws in the UK, you need advice with traveling, Bianca is your resource person. If you want to get in contact with her, you want to speak with her later, just let me know, put a DM in, and I can always connect you to her. If you want to follow her, the name of her business is here. It's called
Hello,
Digital.
Digital.
digital. So you guys can always reach her on Instagram and ask some important questions. Don't feel like she doesn't understand your story. Trust me, she's been through everything you might have been through, I'm sure. And she has a lot of experience for you to, want to tap in. And just so to throw this in before we finish this podcast, remember our community is launching next year. So these are people you're going to see in our community. It's going to be very resourceful, trust me, African women, a place where you come, if you forget that forget the African mentality at the door.
Home and come and
Drop it at home and come somewhere and learn. Ask people how they started business. Yeah, you heard her story. She started law. She went to read in this country, even navigating those two things. That's to show you how tough and resilient she is and how much tenacity she's got. If you're not, trust me, if you're not motivated by this woman in front of you here, I don't see anything that will motivate you. I'm already motivated. And I feel like I'm not even doing more with the master. I want to even go and do this law now that she has done so that I can collect that client.
One more thing, please. I'm doing a digital Christmas party for children back home in Benin City on the 21st of December. So if you have anybody in Benin, you can invite them. I will put the flyer up.
Yeah, lovely, guys. But let's continue with the story before we forget why we came here. Okay. So, what inspired this event? There was this event you shared with us right now, right? So, how did you come about this event, my darling?
My partner is a coach and he has a few football academies and he also has the grassroots side of football. And I've seen how communities build through sports. You see that test for, apart from the sports itself, the kicking of the ball, the community and everything. And I was thinking, what can I do for people back home so that they can feel this kind of energy? And I decided to put this event together. This football five-a-side Christmas party.
Nice.
Yeah, Santa.
Yeah, and where are you doing it?
I'm doing it in GRA, Benin City at Benin Recreational Club.
Okay.
I think it's at number 1 Ikpopan Road.
Okay.
Benin City, yeah.
Wow, amazing. This is such a big leap for you, BA, and I want to be so much part of it. Now, this is one thing again, African women, why you need vulnerability in your life, right? Women do not become a threat to you. You want to share, you want to experience people that are going far. You want to tap into their growth as well. You want to learn. It's no longer competition. This one by the latest week in town. This is about community. This is about understanding that other women have navigated things that you've not and learn. It's about humility. And when you start becoming vulnerable, the honest questions will tell you the truth. So you'll just pack your feelings, keep for one place, begin to tell yourself the truth. So who are the sponsors of this show and who are you partnering? I heard some big names. When we were having a chat.
I'm partnering with Academy UK. I'm partnering with Unraveled Closets.
You're not clapping in your house.
Everybody clap. I'm partnering with Cakes by Kenny.
Lovely.
And Viv. She's Goddess Viv on Instagram. She's our fashion and lifestyle influencer. So
lovely. You're doing amazing, BA, and I'm so super proud of you. I know this is not a word you should hear from me. I said not sure say you senior me, but I'm super.
I senior you, Abby, with like years old.
You not senior me. You senior me, BA. No? But I am proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Yeah. So, guys, feel free, like I said earlier, to ask me questions in the DM. If you feel like what we've talked about today is, you know to like and you want to add your own, you feel say the African man mentality must stay because you enjoy. For example, for those of you who don't understand Pidgin English, I mean, if you feel like this African mentality is good for you, you're enjoying it, you have success in your home, put comments in the section so that we too will learn. But other than that, here we're saying that this African mentality is going to stop.
It has to stop.
A woman.
Where they say if anything that is happening in your house, keep quiet. I think telling people don't talk about it is just hiding the abuse. Please, women, learn to speak up. Learn to speak up. Talk to someone. By hiding stuff does not mean you're having the most successful marriage. You can be dying and be hiding the dying inside your house.
Exactly. I told you that this was the same thing that happened to me. I was losing myself. I didn't know. Thank God for my mom who was there at home. God knows where I would have been today. So sometimes I wish I had shared my story. I wish I had talked. Talk calm. I don't know why you guys are so concerned about what people think.
Say.
God.
Talk. When has that ever helped anybody?
It didn't get, say, I got it for so long. I ain't getting nothing now. I'm not getting. If I'm going through a lot, I speak up. Speak up. Your help are feeding your side. But because you're so strong in your system, in your mind, you won't talk. Seek help. Seek help and be bold about it. Be confident. If your husband say, where you go to the side, they go for therapy. I need it. Can you join me? If he say he doesn't join you, you go and seek help.
Yeah.
And then you realize that you're not just going mad. You're not depressed. You just need to change systems. All right. So, guys, this is Bianca. This is rebirth for me. This woman who once questioned her what is now negotiating deals, leading teams, and executing a national event. Dudes. To every African woman who is listening, you are not dramatic. You're not rebellious. You're not too much. You are evolving. And anyone who cannot grow with you cannot hold you back. It is okay to be vulnerable. I said it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to outgrow culture, expectations. You are allowed to be powerful. You are allowed to be soft. And above all of these things, you are allowed to be you. Thank you for listening with us. Bianca, thank you so much for coming on my show. You are a star. And I'm looking forward to that party, that Christmas spots and everything. And good luck with everything, my darling. Sending you massive hug, massive love. Before you go, I want you to say one thing. This is the Unraveled Closet. 1, 2, ready, go.
This is the Unraveled Closet.
Love you, darling. Thank you guys for listening. I remain my humble self, Lucy. Charios. Mwah.
Bye.